we meet Scorpio, Scorpio sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Scorpios, starting today, the March the 5th, 2023, Sunday, March 5th, 2023. We're streaming your reading live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Rachel and the lovely Shirley. Moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators. And thank you, Scorpios and friends of Scorpios, for joining us today. I'm reading with this Marseille deck by Lo Scarabeo. This is from their Anima Antique collection, which is now unfortunately out of print, but I have put a link into the video description where you can find other decks that you might find equally as wonderful as this one, even though this one is currently out of print. I just felt like reading with it today because I haven't given it any love in a long time. I've already purified with some Florida water. You can find information about how to purchase that product also in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. Scorpio, like I said, this is for all of you Scorpio, sun sign, rising sign, moon sign, 2-week reading starting today, the 5th of March, 2023, going out to you whether you're watching live or on a restream. It does go out to a lot of Scorpios, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, all of which are available for restream on my YouTube and Twitch channels. Also, we have general readings for all signs each and every day except for Monday. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of merchandise, including tarot decks for sale. We receive a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support. If you're watching live on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us there, and you can watch our videos on Twitch without any commercials by simply subscribing to us there. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. We appreciate your support. You can't use a super sticker or super chat yet on YouTube just because this channel has just recently split off from our main channel, so we're too young for super stickers or super chats, but those will be coming soon. So if you'd like to donate, the way to do that is paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. All right, Scorpio, this is feeling pretty darn shuffled, but I think you deserve a couple more, don't you? And then we'll cut it with a clean cut, and we'll see what's in the cards for the next couple weeks for all of our gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, and fabulous Scorpios. We've got the Star card. That's a nice little start to your reading. We've got a 5 of Cups. Okay, good to know. And a King of Swords. Well, that's a bit of a mixed bag there, Scorpio. All right, let's break it down here, and we gotta open these up because I want to have a little more information here. But it just seems like you were going on such a good trajectory as far as finding that grace, finding that forgiveness, finding that peace, right? And then something happened that opened up your some emotional pain for many of you, and reacting to that emotional pain is understandable, but you don't want to stay in that reactive mind. Because that reactive mind is that King of Swords, and that's really easy to get into, especially those of you who have any Mars in your chart, like Aries and Scorpio do. Because that King of Swords just wants to attack for no reason, wants to hold grudges, wants to have a lot of grievances, and wants to be right about them, and believes that those are treasures. And so we don't want to hold ourselves hostage, let that King of Swords part of our mind hold ourselves hostage, because it does not make you feel better. The ego keeps promising that you'll feel better if you hold enough grievances, if you have enough resentment, and it doesn't ever seem to work out that way, does it? But we have a hard time questioning that because the ego keeps distracting us. Doesn't want us to look at the fact that, wait a minute, this grievance thing doesn't seem to be working for me. And definitely doesn't want you to recall back to when things were feeling good, when you were giving everybody the grace that you needed to give them in order for you to feel the grace for yourself, in order for you to have peace. So the King of Swords does not want peace In fact, it really is vigilant against your peace. And it doesn't want you to know that, because it snows us. The King of Swords, that part of the ego, snows us into thinking, no, this is going to bring you peace. No, it will. Just keep those grievances going. You don't want them to win. If they win, then you're vulnerable. You're, blah, 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 blah. So the ego mind, as depicted by this King of Swords, it's just a construct. It's not, I think a lot of people misunderstand the ego and they think it's some sort of force outside of them. It's not. It's just a habit that we get into, of the way of using our minds, of thinking that somehow our grievances are going to get us somewhere, and they don't. They actually stop us in our tracks, and they perpetuate the emotional discord that we're trying to get rid of. It's the ego has us snowed. It says, no, I know what to do with this pain. If we project this pain onto them, then we won't feel it anymore. I mean, and you may not know that those words exactly, but what it fails to remind you, or it fails to let you in on, is that it authored the pain in the first place. So it has no intention of letting that pain go. It knows that if you project that pain outward, then you are in a pain cycle, and it's a lot less. It's a lot more challenging to get rid of the pain when you've projected it outwards, because then it does look like it's happening to you. Now, I'm not trying to discount any problems that you've had. If you've had, if people have been cruel and mean and awful to you, I mean, I understand that is bad. But what I'm saying is that you hanging on to grievances for what they've done is not going to help. It's actually going to make it worse. It's actually going to you're actually going to hang on to those problems. So that's why we have forgiveness, is not because we're trying to let them off the hook. It's because we're trying to let ourselves off the hook, right? So you don't forgive other people for their benefit. You forgive them for your own release, for your own benefit. Look at this beautiful World card. See, this is what the ego puts on hold with grievances. I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. Some of you are, anyway. Not all of you. I understand some of you are, it's less intense than others, but some of you are really going through it. Some of you are going through a breakup. I know a couple of you are probably going through divorces. It's hard. I know. I'm not making light of your pain when I'm telling you about how the King of Swords works. I'm just telling you, though, that there is a way out of the emotional distress. Even in the midst of a divorce, you can be at peace. Even in the midst of a breakup, you can be at peace. Even in the midst of a job change, you can be at peace. Whatever the discord, whatever the endings, even when you're grieving the loss of a loved one, you can still find peace, right? It's not that you shouldn't feel what you're feeling. It's that you don't want to perpetuate what you're feeling by blaming other people. Even if it seems to be their fault, it still is not going to help you. It still is not going to help you, because all of this over here, this World card and the Star card, is what's waiting for you. It's patiently waiting for you to let go of whatever these grievances are. Okay. And again, it's advanced. This is advanced, what you're being called on to do. It's not easy. It's not like, basic arithmetic. This is like very, very, it's like university level calculus here that you're being asked to be working with. And you can do it. You can do it. You can let go of these grievances. You can be free from whatever these toxic emotions are that many of you have been experiencing, even in the midst of what you're going through. And I understand that many of you are going through things that are not easy. Okay, so we're not making light of your situation here, but we are going to really encourage you to keep calling on that divine grace, to be calling on that forgiveness, because that's where your protection lies. That's where your safety lies. And not only that, that's where you get the winning hand, because that World card is the winning hand. It takes all the tricks, whether it's pips or trumps. This card is your card, and it's your ace in the hole, so to speak. You have that hand. So when it's time to play that card, you'll know when to play that card. But in order for you to get back in to that, you have to find that grace. You have to find that forgiveness. And again, you do it for your own benefit. Yes, we want everybody else to benefit too, but look out for you first, Scorpio. Put your own oxygen mask on first. It's all about you first. This ego mind that for many of you are experiencing this almost inner attack because you're thinking that's the only way you can be safe. It's lying to you. That's not going to keep you safe. It's actually going to make you vulnerable. Forgiveness actually makes you safe because then you put yourself back into that circle of protection. All that angelic protection exists within that forgiveness. And again, you're not condoning behavior when you forgive. You're not condoning, if this has to do with others. Everybody's so different. But if this has to do with others, that forgiveness that you need to have, you're not condoning their behavior. You're not empowering them to have more of that. You're actually releasing them from you. And ultimately, when I've noticed for myself, when somebody's really, really done something awful, it's after I've forgiven them, it's almost like that was a magical act for them to all of a sudden have accountability. It's almost like my grievance was holding their accountability at bay. And as soon as I forgave them, then they had to pay the piper, And then my next challenge was, okay, Schadenfreude is not the way to go, because it's a lot of fun when you see somebody finally get what they deserve. But then that gets toxic too. So you learn that let's take the focus off of them and put it back on ourselves. And look at all of this success that's waiting for you. You really, Scorpio, this world card is telling you that not only are you protected, but you really have waiting for you the realization of all of the desires of your heart. And it's just sitting there. It's not going anywhere. But you can't come back into that circle until you let go of these grievances, until you let go of this pain. And it's not, like I said, it's not that you're doing something wrong if you don't get there right away. It's that it's a challenge. It's a challenge. And if anybody can accept that challenge and succeed in it, it's you. It's you. But look at this beautiful, crowning your reading, this beautiful Queen of Wands. That's where your focus needs to be, not on these grievances. It needs to be back on what you love to do. So for some of you, these grievances aren't with people. Some of you are just, generally worried or going through loss or going through, grief. And that's okay. You don't want to necessarily run away from your feelings, but you do want to forgive. You do want to forgive. You do want to forgive yourself, and you do want to forgive others. In order for you to become disconnected from this and get back to where you want to be, and that is really leaning into your passions, really leaning into those projects and those things which are bringing you so much joy. It's not worthwhile putting that on hold. It's not worthwhile putting this grace on hold. It's definitely not worthwhile putting this protection and this success and this winning hand on hold. So if anybody can do it, you can, Scorpio, because you're pretty special in that regard. You can do this. You can rise to the challenge. So today's a day, or this couple weeks, I think, are a time for you to really let yourself off the hook and let other people off the hook, and do it as a magical exercise. Now, we have 2 meditations that you might want to take a look at over these next 2 weeks. One is for the Star Goddess, so that you can find that grace, and it's called Receiving the Divine Grace of the Star Goddess. And then the other meditation is this world, which is called Invoking the Circle of Angels. And you can find the link to my Tarot Trump meditations in the video description of this video on YouTube. And also you can find them on my website at ariels-corner.com. You're doing really well, Scorpio. I know it's a challenge, but you are on the right track. Don't let yourself get hooked by that ego. You stay the course, and you're going to be very, very successful. There's no greater success than this world card, and that is yours. It's waiting for you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'll be back with another reading in 2 weeks. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Rachel, Shirley, and Dre. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Scorpio. Much, much love and many, many blessings.